Riverbed all clear, over. We're starting our patrol east along the canyon, north side access road, over.
Copy that, Disciple 4. Finish your sweep and get back inside. Zulu team...
All right, you guys, so fireworks went off again last night, and it's not 4th of July, but so we found out that John Jones has been pulled from UFC 200. I can say I was very shocked. You know, the only person I thought would get pulled from it was going to be with injury, and that was Jose Aldo because of his background. I think a lot of us was shocked that, you know, there was only 3 days left to the fight. But, you know, USADA never fails again. We've seen it with other fighters, Yoel Romero, Lyoto Machida, and some of the other guys getting pulled from fights because of potential violations for doping. We've seen the same thing, and it's hit very hard because it's one of the biggest fighters in the UFC at the biggest event, and it's only 3 days out. I wanted to make my reaction video last night, but once I found out that John would hold his own press conference, which most fighters or athletes will not choose to do, I decided to go ahead and wait so we can get all the information out first before we pass judgment on what happened. I know everybody went to the web saying, you know, it was drugs, but, you know, he can't be tested. He's not tested for out of competition street drugs. So we knew it wasn't that. So we wanted to find out exactly what it was. I kind of figured we probably wouldn't, or even if we did, we wouldn't understand exactly what it was because of the terminology that they use. You guys, if you've ever seen that list of banned substances, it's a very long list, and you never know sometimes what you're putting in your body. But these guys do have to pay a lot of special attention to that. Very tough thing to do every day when you're training for a big, huge fight like this was. So it's pretty unfortunate that it's come down to this and this happened this way. I was kind of looking forward to the fight, not as much as the first time, but I wanted to see what was going to happen this second time with no excuses from anybody. So pretty big main event. I'm pretty bummed to hear that it's off now, and that Brock Lesnar versus Mark Hunt will be the new main event. But still a stellar card from top to bottom. I'll definitely be tuning in to UFC 200 still. I really don't know what to say, you guys. Just as shocked as anybody else. I know Dana, the Fertitas, all those guys are shocked. I really don't. A lot of people are campaigning saying, yeah, let's put Mousasi in there to fight DC. I don't really want to see any of those guys fight. I know DC, he deserves the money and everything like that, so hopefully they'll give him the money and not just throw somebody like Ilir Latifi, Guard Mousasi in there. Bizbean's campaign for it. I'd kind of rather see that. At least it's intriguing to see a champion versus champion match. But to see either Latifi or Mousasi, that just doesn't really excite me very much. So if they do put that on, hopefully it won't be the main event or even the co-main event. I'd rather it be down the line. Probably even before the Frankie Edgar-Aldo fight, to be honest with you. It's just doesn't have that same pop to it that, you know, two very big fighters would have, even though it's for a championship belt. It's just like a last-minute just throw-in fight that I really don't care for. I mean, you guys can sound out. Let me know in the comment section how you would feel about one of those fights. One of those fighters coming in to fight DC. Guys, you know, it is what it is. Like John said, he just ended his press conference not too long ago. He ran out on it for emotion. I'm not sure how to take it. His emotions was all over the place. I'm no psychologist myself, but, you know, from the crying and then seeming like he just wanted to laugh and have fun like he's been having past few times we've seen him at press conferences, it was just pretty weird. I felt like some moments he was struggling with, do I really want to tell these guys what it was I did? I know I did it. Should I just come clean now? And then sometimes it felt like maybe he really wasn't sure, didn't know. And then he just ran out from crying. That was pretty strange. I felt like, you know, what was the point of this press conference if you're not going to be there? But, you know, I try to put myself in those shoes and what would I do if I was up there? I really didn't want to hear from Malky Kawhi about what was going on. That guy, he's a little up and down with what he says as well sometimes. So hearing from him wasn't really the ideal situation. We wanted to hear strictly from John with what was going on. Hopefully, like they said, the B sample will be tested today. It doesn't look like he'll be there for it. I would if I felt like, it was unjust and maybe something happened. But I think from what I'm hearing with the B sample, it rarely comes back negative anyway. And potentially he probably does know what it was, that he popped for, even though, he's saying he can't pronounce it, which, not very unusual. Those words can be very long and confusing. So I get that, but I think he does know what it was. And he was probably just hoping, I've been tested clean in the past, so it probably won't be anything, or maybe it's a small amount and just won't be detected too much, or maybe even it will come out after the fight and I'll get a chance to fight and make this money real quick and just deal with the repercussions after that. I'm not sure myself. I really don't want to pass judgment, but right now, this guy, I loved him. Him, GSP, Anderson Silva, Frankie Edgar, Jose Aldo. These guys are some of my favorite fighters. But to see him going down this path, it's just hard to stay on his side with, the multiple things that just keep happening. I hope he bounces back from this. I wouldn't mind seeing him in the cage, but the days of me saying, oh, I can't wait to see Jon Jones fight, that's almost far gone for me at this point. I'm not interested in feeling too interested in seeing him, Anderson Silva, anymore. I mean, I think Anderson's past his time to go, but I will still watch him when they do fight. Don't get me wrong. But I think I'm just beyond all that right now. I'm not even sure if I want to see GSP come back. Of course, I'll watch it if he does. I'm not concerned with whether he comes back or not. Same thing with Jose Aldo. If he loses to Frankie Saturday night, I don't know what's left for him. Maybe he moves up. I mean, we always wanted to see that. But after 2 losses, who do they throw him in there with? Even if he does move up, I mean, the days of wanting to see him fight Pettis, that's long gone. I mean, there are some interesting fights in that division for him. But it's this pretty big blow for the UFC, the fight fans, the fighters themselves. It was going to be a pretty big payday for John and DC, so it's pretty sad to see this happening right now. Pretty sure the UFC is distraught on it. Especially if they really are looking at selling. This isn't very good press for them right before UFC 200. But not only that, something else nobody's really talking about is, this has just totally overshadowed the fight that's supposed to happen tonight. Everybody was actually engaged that, had the press conference, some of the weigh-ins yesterday, and tonight was supposed to be RDA versus Dos Anjos, which probably would have got overshadowed with the Conor McGregor versus Diaz press conference for 202 that's happening later today. But nonetheless, people would have been even excited after that press conference that, we get a chance to see a great fight tonight, even with a good co-main event. But I think the news that came out last night has just really overshadowed everything. I'm pretty sure Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz will, put some excitement back into the week again and try to, overshadow this news just a little bit, but it's going to be very tough to come back down from what's happened with this Jon Jones popping for a potential violation. But, hopefully we'll get a great press conference. I'm sure we will. Conor McGregor is going to have a lot to say, not only about Nate Diaz, but I'm quite sure about what's happened here with Jones versus DC. Hopefully we'll get a even better night of fights, so that by tomorrow morning, it'll be all about fight week again. We won't really hear too much about what's going on. Of course, there will still be that media because people want to hear, and it's click-worthy. So we'll just see. You guys just let me know your feelings of what's going on, what you think of John. Where should they go from here? Who do you want to see fight DC if you do want a fight to happen Saturday night? Like I said, I really don't, but you guys just let me know in the comment section. Like, subscribe, and once again, I thank you guys for just tuning in real quick on this breaking news that's happened the last not even 24 hours yet. But see you guys on my next video.
We have seen so